We continue with our conversation. We are still trying to think about morality. And like we have stated in the program before, that morality becomes, a good character becomes the only secure way of you enjoying the life that God has given you. And we are making a conversation based on a biblical passage, which you can also read, Proverbs chapter number 11. And when we look at verse number 7, it says, when the wicked die, that is it. The story is over, end of hope. But a good person, in verse number 8, is saved from much trouble. A bad person runs straight into it. Think about this. Life is a gift. For us to be living today is by the mercies of God. But according to the passage, when the wicked die, that's it. They're gone. The story is over. It's like the end of hope. But when a righteous person would die, there is a hope. Because we say there's a hope, there's a life after death, there is a hope of a better life, the afterlife. But so, it is unwise for you to continue in your wickedness. But I like also the statement to the effect that a good person is saved from much trouble. If you're a good person, you are saved from much trouble. A bad person runs straight into it. And I usually say that when you choose to be a person of character, somebody who is reputable for your goodness, it's actually for your own benefit. Your goodness benefits you than any other. And of course, people can be able to draw from your goodness, and they can celebrate and they can enjoy it. But the greatest beneficiary of your personal uprightness, of good character, when you are a good person, you are the greatest beneficiary. Because there's a certain serenity and peace that you enjoy if you are a good person. But if you're a bad person, you even get into trouble. Because you see, a good person is saved from trouble. But a bad person runs into it. Continuing with the same conversation, because we are talking about moral uprightness. And sometimes when you look at the things that happen, and sometimes when you visit the social media platforms and see the kind of communication that continues back and forth, you wonder, whatever happened with basic morality? Whatever happened with basic ethical living? If sometimes you hear the words that come from people who are supposed to be respectable, the kind of words they use. And actually, I like what verse 9 says, that the loose tongue of the godless spreads destruction. The common sense of the godly preserves them. I like that a loose tongue of the godless spreads destruction. And we know that very well. We know the words, what words can do. The Bible in the book of James talks about the tongue as a world of iniquity. It's actually described in some of the passages as a fire. And it says in the same tongue we can be cursing people, and we are supposed to be, on the contrary, blessing them, because people are created in the image of God. So it is so important for us to understand, if we are going to enjoy the life that God has given us, and we live by his pressure, each one of us, none of us deserve the favors and the graces we enjoy. But it is important for us to know that God has an expectation that we can live lives that honor him, we can live lives that, reflect his praise, so that we are not people who just talk recklessly. We do have, like in our country, we have people who are supposed to be ensuring that things like hate speech don't take place. But if you listen to what happens many, many times, we just continue to see that that is the normal thing to happen. And just because of reckless talk, loose talking. And I like the statement, the fact that what we're reading here, that a loose tongue of the godless spreads destruction, and the common sense of a godly person preserves them. You are preserved, but if you just use the common senses to know that you need to take full responsibility of the words that come out of your mouth. Just continuing a little bit in this passage, in verse number 10, says, when it goes well for good people, the whole town cheers. When it goes badly for bad people, the town celebrates. Just think about this again. Yeah? That when it goes well for good people, the whole town cheers. And there's no one who does not know the difference between a good person and an evil person. I mean, there's no gray line. I mean, if somebody is evil, they are known by their wickedness. If somebody is good, they are known by their goodness. And the Bible says so plainly, in a very, very clear term, that that when it goes well with a good person, the whole town cheers. But when it goes badly for the bad people, that people celebrate. The question is, where are you in terms of your moral thermometer? Can you be defined to be a good person or an evil person? Remember, if you're a good person and things are happening, good things are happening, people will cheer. But if you are wicked, if you are evil, and things go bad with you, instead of people just empathizing or sympathizing, people will celebrate. And again, remember, issues of personal character are things that you cultivate yourself. They're things that you develop yourself by your own way of life. You can't expect anybody else to be the ones to do it. And there are certain things that become our own personal responsibility, and we need to be very, very committed to a life that demonstrates the fear of God in our lives, that would inform us, would cause us to be able to live lives that can be described as good lives. Now, it goes further to say, in verse number 11 of the book of Proverbs, chapter number 11, it says that when right living people bless the city, it flourishes. Evil talk turns into a ghost town in no time. When right living people bless the city flourishes. But evil talk turns the city into a ghost town within no time. Again, this is still talking about morality. This is talking about moral uprightness. This is talking about character. And I want to say that it's so important for each one of us to live lives that honor God, lives that express what has happened to us because of our faith. I want to say that this conversation can transform your life, but it's not because of your willpower, but because of recognizing Jesus Christ as the Lord of your life. God bless you as you follow the conversation. Thank you.